Hi and welcome to the Rocket Scientist that review LEGO classic space sets from the time period 1978 to 1987. Today we have the LEGO set 6824 Space Dart number 1. This little craft was first released in 1984. It holds 48 bricks. There were one minifigure in the set, and this time the minifigure was blue, a blue classic spaceman as seen here. As an extra thing to the minifigure was a walkie-talkie, as you can see here. The dimensions. The length of the craft is measured to be 140 millimeters or 5.5 inches. The wingspan from wingtip to wingtip is measured to be 120 millimeters, which equals to 4.72 inches. The height up to the top part of the antenna was measured to be 50 millimeters or 2 inch. And the weight of the craft without the minifigure on board was measured to be 26 grams, which is equal to 0.90 ounces. The design. I think the design is very cool. It has many details and a lot of different colors. Let's start at the front. You have a trans red colored antenna piece. You have a nose section which is entirely cylindrical in gray and black. You have some red navigation lights on two sides here, and you have also some green lights over here. You have two antennas for communication which are supported by these bricks, which is a smart thing to do, which they never did in the earliest first generation of spacecraft. You have the steering wheel as often, and you also have a good seating position for the astronauts. So you see the seating position here with the steering wheel. And at the rear you have the propulsion section. The main propulsion, I guess, is this one with this tail can, rocket tail can with fins brick, where you have a red trans-colored cylinder which maybe act as a flame here, I don't know, or it could be part of the rocket nozzle. And you have two additional smaller pieces here, these sometimes used as a handgun or detector for the minifigures. Here they are rocket engines for propulsion. So you have two on each side. There's no reaction control yet on this craft. There's no wings for aerodynamic flight. Instead you have these bricks, these mast bricks, or what I should call them, which holds something that looks like missiles at the wingtips. They could be detectors of some sort, if you like, or you could pretend they are missiles to be launched against some ground targets or air-to-air targets. Then these can fly away. But normally classic space was all about exploration in a peaceful manner. There were no enemies, there were no aliens to fight, so yeah. But again, it's up to you. The nose can actually also rotate. So it's attached with a Technics brick here. So I don't know the meaning of this rotation, but it has that ability. Underneath you see some a pair of black flat circular plates, and you have these pieces that kind of act as a support or landing leg. So you have some stability when it's on the land. on the ground. And the minifigure is blue, and he is equipped with a walkie-talkie for communication. So really nice. So all in all, I have decided to give this as a score of 5. Playability. It's a small set, so you cannot ask for too much, but you have at least this rotating nose section for whatever the purpose is. You have these missiles that you could pretend is a weapon, or some sensors that you are shooting away to detect something. You have a lot of colors on various parts of the craft. So you can pretend a lot as a child with this. Of course, easy to hold and play with, and it has this aircraft appearance to it, so you can fly and do the missions you want to do. And with the walkie-talkie, that's add a little on the playability, and yeah, he can communicate with some others. So all in all, I decided to give this a score of 5. Nostalgic Force. I never had this set myself. Neither do I remember it. So I unfortunately have to then give it a score of only 1. So for the toy score then, from my side, it's 11. Rocket design engineering. Is this something that we could build and use? Well, I don't think so. First of all, this is a craft for the vacuum of space. This is not for atmospheric flight because there's no lifting surfaces here. So that's all fine, but then you would also need some reaction control system, some propulsion to enable attitude control, meaning roll, pitch, and yaw control, and translating motion like this, which it doesn't have. You have propulsion in this direction, yes, and you can imagine that these things were rocket engines, then you would have the ability to hover, land, and take off. But yeah, that's when considering the rocket propulsion technology I know about. There's hardly any landing undercarriage here, so you have the support, and if these are the rocket nozzle outlets, then you're landing on the rocket nozzles. And as said in previous reviews, that is never a good idea. Normally you would have some sort of legs giving some clearance to the rocket nozzles like this. Again, as for most of these Lego sets, they are too small for compared to the size of the man here, and that means that you don't have too much volume for propellant, and you see that here there's nothing, not many places that you can hide propellant tank or tanks. So this would have very short range as a craft. The steering wheel is sitting a little high, in a high position compared to the position of the astronaut. Looks a little odd having the steering wheel that high. So in respect to design engineering, I have decided to give this a score of 3. So all in all then, we are up at a total score of 14. I must still say that this is a lovely little craft. It must be fun to play with as a child, because you can fly around and explore and do whatever you dream about doing. And it's really cool to have this blue colored spaceman there. So as a contrast to the classic white and red, which came out early, and then yellow, and now we have a blue guy joining the team. Let's have a look on the instructions. Here I have the instructions in quite good shape. So you start as always building the astronaut first. Then you start assembling the craft. The undercarriage is what you start with. The bottom part of the craft is here. And then you go over to the wing sections. And then add on the navigation lights and propulsion section. On the next page you have the propulsion, main propulsion side part, and the seating position, and then on step 10 you assemble the nose piece, and the final touch is given by inserting the trans-red colored antenna piece to the nose, and of course plugging in the astronaut himself. A fairly easy build, but still a little fun craft to build because you have all these small details. It's a great little set, I must say. I like it. So that's all for now, and thank you for watching, and if you have any comments, please do not hesitate to provide them, and if you like my review, consider then subscribing to my channel as well. Okay, bye for now. Bye bye.